Hello and welcome to this quick tutorial on how I created the chevrons on the fan case for the Boeing 787 using the circular pattern tool. Just a quick disclaimer first before I proceed. First, this model, the Boeing 787, is uploaded on GrabCAD and it is completely free. If you also go there on my page, there are also a different models. You could download them and they are completely free. But about this particular model, because since I'll be creating a tutorial here, I just want to point out that the chevrons or the design of the engines here is not fully accurate to the exact model. And also, I just want to point out that when observing the model right here, this is not perfect as well. So you might find some inconsistencies about the design. But regardless of that, I'll be showing you still how I created this using, again, the circular pattern tool. So enough with the talk and let's proceed creating this engine or the fan case right here. Okay, so to start, we need to create a sketch. So I'll select the create sketch tool, select the face right here. I'll create a simple vertical line. So I'll start my first point here, right around here. So 1, and then end it right here. So 2. And then press the check mark once you're done. Then next, I'll be creating another line. So I need to start our second line from the midpoint of the first line that we have created. To do that is I just need to hover over the line here and then wait until I see a triangle beside our crosshair. Means that we are already at the midpoint. So there you go. So I'll start again my first point here. So 1, and then end the second point right around here. So 2. Then press the check mark once you're done. Okay, last is we'll be creating another a horizontal line, and then perfectly aligned with this second line right here. So again, I'll start from here. So 1, and then end it right here. So you see, this is the good thing about the Fusion 360. You would see that our third line, this is perfectly aligned with the second line, since we could already see a this broken line right here. So it means it's perfectly aligned with the second line. And then press the check mark once you are done. Next, I'll be using the fit point spline tool. So I'll select the fit point spline. I'll start at this first point right here. So 1, and then 2, and then press the check mark here, and then press the escape key on your keyboard to exit the tool. So what we just have to do now is manipulate or move the 2 tangent handles here. So 1 and then 2 right here, in order for us to trace the outline of the top portion of the fan case right here. For me, I'll start at manipulating the tangent handle here. So I'll just select, you could select any point right here so that you could move the tangent handle. I'll just select this point right here. So I'll select this. I'll press M on my keyboard so that I could move this tangent handle. And then what I'm trying to do here is I am moving the tangent handle so that it would be as close as being parallel to being vertical. So no need to be perfect right now since we'll be applying the constraint and it would do the job for us. So for me, this is okay the tangent handle as the tangent handle is already being close to being parallel to vertical. So I'll just press OK here. And then now I could proceed at the constraint section and then select the horizontal or vertical constraint. So I'll select this and then select this tangent handle right here. And then press escape on your keyboard to exit the tool. While you are still at here, you could also now manipulate again the tangent handle or move it so that we could just get as close to this outline right here. So I'll select this point, press M on my keyboard, and then move the tangent handle. And there we have it. So for me, I would not make this perfect, but just as close as to the outline right here. And I'm okay with this, so I'll just press OK here. And now I'll proceed on moving the tangent handle right here. So in order for us to do that, we need to show the tangent handle. So I'll just select the feed point spline here, and you will see that the tangent handle would appear. I'll select this point right here, press M on my keyboard, and then move it just to trace the outline or the top outline of the fan case right here. And then press OK. If you're not happy with how the feed point spline is tracing the outline of the top fan case, you could always just make micro adjustments to make it perfect. But for me, this is okay already. So what I have just to do now is, sorry, so we go back here. Okay, it's just trim these lines right here. I'll select trim tool and then trim these lines right here and also this one. Press the escape key on your keyboard to exit the tool. So what I'm left with right now is this section right here and also this section or this line right here. And then finish the sketch. And now that we have the profile and the line, we could now proceed on creating or using the revolve tool to create the cylindrical shape for our fan case. Let me just hide the canvas and rotate the view so we can focus on what we're trying to work on here. I'll select the revolve tool, and automatically Fusion 360 already detected the profile that we're trying to revolve. But in case, I'll just press the X here, and then I'll select manually the profile. So I'll select this one, and then next I'll select the axis. So the axis will be the line here. And then make sure that the extend type is set to full and the operation type is set to new body. So we could see here that we have the cylindrical shape for our fan case. Then just press OK. So what we're left off with right now is the chevrons for our fan case. Next is we'll be creating another sketch that's going to be for our chevrons. I'll select create sketch, select this face right here. First, I do need to project the 3D body that we have here. So I'll press P on my keyboard, making sure that the selection filter is selected to bodies since we're projecting a 3D body right here. So I'll select that and then press OK. Let me hide the bodies first and then go back to the first sketch that we have created because I do need to project this line right here. So again, I'll press P on my keyboard and then instead, since this is a 2D sketch only, I'll make sure that the selection filter is set to specified entities only. And then select this and then press OK. Hide the first sketch, I don't need that. And then unhide the canvases so that we could trace. For me, because this just looks like simple triangles. So again, I'll create a line. So I'll start from here, just trace it right around here, press the check mark, and then I'll be creating a horizontal line. Make sure that the horizontal line that you're creating is perfect. Okay, so let me just redo that. I don't know why Fusion 360 is not detecting it as. Okay, there you go. So that's a perfectly horizontal line. And then I'll be mirroring this line right here to the other side. So I'll select this line, select mirror tool, select the mirror line, and then I'll select this as the mirror line. Then press OK. I'll I'll just have to move these two lines at the center right here. So select this and this one as well. Go to modify tool, select move. Move type would be a point to point. Origin point would be here. And then target point, I'll select the target point here. And then press OK. So what I just have to do now is, again, create another line. Press the check mark. And then select this line. And then mirror it at the other side. Select the mirror tool. And then I'll select this as the mirror line. And then press OK. And then again, do it at the other side. So to make it simpler, I'll just have to delete this line. And then also this one. I'll select these two lines right here. Select mirror. Select this as the mirror line. And then press OK. I'll just delete this line since this has just served as a guide. And what we have to do now is make these edges round, or by applying a fillet tool, the fillet tool. So I'll select the fillet tool here. Select this line, 1, 2. So 100 is okay. Press enter on keyboard and also do it at the other side. So press the fillet tool and then second. Then press the enter. Now it just depends on you if you would, since this has just served again as a guideline, you could just delete this, or you could just select line type and then make this as a construction. And then finish the sketch. Now that we have this shape for our chevrons, we could now proceed on splitting the body first, or splitting the fan case body. So I'll select this split body tool, and then the body to split is the fan case body. And then our splitting tool would be the two shapes right here, or for our chevron. So select that, and then select these two shapes right here. So 1 and then 2. And then make sure that the extend splitting tools is currently selected. So that's selected already, and then press OK. And there we have it. After that, I'll be going here at the drop down section for our construct tool, and then select axis through cylinder. And then select the inside face of our cone here, and then press OK. So you would see here, to make things simpler, since fan case it just looks like a cone or like a cylinder, so we have selected the tool so that it would perfectly create this axis at the center of our fan case. And since we already have that, we could now proceed on going here at the create drop down, and then select or hover around pattern tool and select circular pattern. Make sure that the object type is set to features, and then the object that we will be selecting is, we'll go here at our timeline right here, and we will be selecting the this this point right here, which is the split tool. And then after you have selected that, is I'll select this axis, and the axis to be selected is this one. And then what we have to do is, at the distribution, I'll change it to symmetric. And then from here, you could just select the quantities that So if you, for example, you have set this to 2, or I'm sorry, so let's try first 3. So would you see here that it would cut the body only at this portions right here. So you would see that this would not make sense since the chevrons for the fan case is continuously, and we don't want any spaces right between here. So this is by trial and error. So how about say 4? So still not yet. So there still has a space here between them. So how about just 5? Okay, so that's how we would want it to look. So you could just proceed on pressing OK, and then let's wait for it. And there we have it. So now we have the chevrons right here. What we can now do is remove these bodies right here. So I'll go here. That's body 47. I'll remove that. And then also this one right here. It says here that's body 46. And then remove. And there we have it. So now we have the chevrons for our fan case. So if I turn on the canvas, well, yes, it wouldn't look so perfect. Like I've told you, it wouldn't look so perfect. But that's how I created the chevrons for our fan case, for our Boeing 787. So I hope that this video has helped you on how I created, or has given you idea on how I created the chevrons for our fan case right here. So if you do have any other suggestions on how I could teach, please do. You could also comment down in the section below. So I could, maybe I could try some different styles, or if you would like some other techniques on how I create some of my airplanes, you could also comment down at the section below. So again, thank you for watching, and I hope you have learned something new here.